In this world, there will always be people who stand to gain off the tragedy of others. We have seen it countless times with people setting up fake GoFundMes, people videotaping themselves helping the homeless, the BLM organization using funds to financially enrich themselves, and the Red Cross misappropriating donations. The list keeps on going, but in this video, I want to focus on the Clintons and how they handled the 2010 earthquake in Haiti to illustrate how seemingly good deeds can have evil intentions. Their history with the country dates back to 1975 when they had their honeymoon there. Hillary said that's when the two of them fell in love and developed a deep connection with Haiti. So, since they had those feelings for my country, let me ask, how did they go about showing it? Well, I know. So let's start off with Bill. During his presidency in the 1990s, he completely destroyed Haiti's agricultural economy by creating massive surpluses of crops such as rice through expending hundreds of millions of dollars in subsidies to U.S. farmers, then forcing Haiti to drop tariffs on rice imported from America from 50% to 3%, causing the Haitian market to be flooded with this cheap American rice, then ordered a crippling embargo which resulted in thousands upon thousands of farmers to lose their land and livelihoods. As Secretary of State, 2009 became Hillary's time to show her love for Haiti, so she consciously made the redevelopment of Haiti one of her top priorities. With this in mind, you would think her love and deep connection with Haiti will bring something good for the Haitian people, but you're wrong. One of her first acts involved suppressing Haiti's minimum wage, which a 2009 Haitian law would have raised from 24 cents to 61 cents an hour. But let me cut her some slack. It was a concerted effort on the part of Haitian elites, Haitian garment manufacturers, including contractors from Hanes and Levi Strauss, U.S. politicians, and American companies who successfully made the U.S. State Department bring intense pressure on Haitian President René Préval to aggressively block the 37 cents increase. And that's all the slack I'm cutting her, because these efforts were aligned with the State Department, who were under Hillary's priorities to create a favorable business climate in Haiti. Anyways, by 2010, the Clintons were two of Haiti's largest benefactors. Their personal philanthropic fund, the Clinton Foundation, had 34 projects in the country focused on things such as creating jobs. So when the earthquake struck, the global response was to send in donations to Haiti. Conveniently, that needed a commission to be designed to have an oversight role regarding the disbursement of the various relief packages pouring in. The Clintons stepped up to lead the global response. The Interim Haiti Recovery Commission was created and Bill was selected as its co-chair. This, coupled with Hillary as Secretary of State, responsible for the channeling of U.S. aid relief spending to Haiti, meant that no matter where you look at every stage of Haiti's reconstruction, fundraising, oversight, and allocation, a Clinton had a hand in the relief and money that was coming into Haiti. So let's look at it. Bill Clinton and George W. Bush created the Clinton-Bush Haiti Fund. Unlike other organizations in Haiti, who are using their resources to deliver immediate humanitarian aid, the Clinton-Bush Fund were using the donations for relief efforts on long-term development by lowering foreign investment and jobs. This strategy was dumb, for the prince had been reduced to ruins. Haitians needed immediate attention, not no hope for the future. And it didn't help that they gave the fund the benefit of the doubt because their long-term developmental plans ended up not helping them. For example, they invested $2 million into building the Royal Oasis Hotel, which ended up primarily benefiting wealthy foreigners and Haitian elites who didn't need the help to begin with. They also invested $300 million into building the Carrico Industrial Park, which Hillary promised would bring 65,000 jobs within 5 years, but the park was a big disappointment. After 4 years, it was only operating at 10% capacity. Jobs had failed to materialize, causing many unemployed Haitians to stay in front of the factory daily, waiting for jobs that didn't exist. This all could have been avoided if they focused on the more pressing concerns, like providing adequate shelter and medicine, as well as clearing the thousands of tons of rubble that filled the streets. All of this is getting me mad, but it doesn't stop there. The Clinton recovery plans were plagued with mismanagement. Clinton staffers had no idea what Haiti was like and had no sensitivity to Haitians. They were reportedly rude and condescending towards them, had little interest in listening to them, and even refused to admit Haitian government ministers to meetings about recovery plans. These staffers were weak and were more interested in supporting the Clintons than helping Haiti. Even their daughter, Chelsea, was shocked by the failing recovery recovery effort. She wrote a detailed email to her parents saying that every part of the international aid effort, both governmental and non-governmental, were falling short, while Haitians are trying to help themselves. To her, the incompetence was mind-numbing. She then went on to write a detailed memo recommending that drastic steps were needed to be taken to get the recovery back on track. But this was kept within the family, because if it had come out at that time, it would have obliterated the public narrative of them being helpful outsiders saving grateful earthquake survivors. All these bad investments and mismanagement didn't even account for all the money raised and pledged for the Haiti earthquake relief. After the first 2 years, the Clintons were nowhere to be seen in Haiti, despite Hillary promising that her commitment to the country will outlast her tenure as Secretary of State. To keep it short, many of the initial pledges never materialized. The money disappeared without a trace, and the Clintons pulled off the biggest scam in Haiti. This is all frustrating because the Clintons really came to Haiti acting like they're about to help, but instead lied and continued using their country for their personal gains and couldn't care less for those who lost their lives, homes, and livelihoods. And you know what? I should have paid more attention to Hillary's leaked emails in 2016 because they show the Clintons' true intentions and how terrible their relief effort were doing in Haiti. If I had known this then, I wouldn't have voted for Hillary. I would have been saying, lock her up, like Trump and many other Haitians were saying. But the past can't be changed. All the damages has been done. Haiti is still in ruins while the Clintons are living their best lives.